Hello, students. Let us continue the topic Discovering Truth. The saga continues. Let us begin from here. The passage begins. In his defense, Carter really had little choice. If he hadn't cut the mummy free, thieves most certainly would have circumvented the guards and ripped it apart to remove the gold. In Tut's time, the royals were fabulously wealthy, and they thought or hoped they could take their riches with them. For his journey to the great beyond, King Tut was lavished with glittering goods, precious collars, inlaid necklaces and bracelets, rings, amulets, a ceremonial apron, sandals, sheaths for his fingers and toes, and the now iconic inner coffin and mask, all of pure gold. To separate Tut from his adornments, Carter's men removed the mummy's head and severed nearly every major joint. Once they had finished, they reassembled the remains on a layer of sand in a wooden box with padding that concealed the damage. The bed where Tut now rested. Circumvented means find a way around. Thieves would have found a way to tackle the guards and remove the gold from the tomb. Inlaid means a decorative pattern on a surface. Amulet means an ornament or a small piece of jewelry thought to give protection against evil, danger, or disease. Apron means a protective garment worn over the front of one's clothes and tied at the back. Sheaths means a close fitting cover. Iconic means something or someone who is a symbol or it represents some other thing. Adornments means ornaments. Concealed means hide. Let us have the explanation of the above passage. According to Carter, he had no choice other than to cut the mummy. He believed that if he hadn't done that, thieves would have removed the gold from the tomb and would have looted it. During Tut's time, the royal people were very wealthy and they had a belief that after death they could take the wealth along with them. For his life after death, he was given precious collars, necklaces. These are the things which he was laid with. Necklaces with decorative patterns, bracelets, rings, amulets, ceremonial aprons, sandals, sheaths for fingers and toes, and now an iconic inner coffin and a mask. His men removed his head and every joint of his body. After they finished, they reassembled the remains in a wooden box with padding filled with a layer of sand to conceal the damage. It was his new resting place. Now, further passage from the textbook is archaeology has changed substantially in the intervening decades, focusing less on treasure and more on the fascinating details of life and intriguing mysteries of death. It also uses more sophisticated tools, including medical technology. In 1968, more than 40 years after Carter's discovery, an anatomy professor x rayed the mummy and revealed a startling fact. Beneath the resin that cakes his chest, his breastbone and front ribs are missing. Intervening means occur in the time between events. Intriguing means to arouse one's curiosity. Startling means unexpected or surprising. Now let us have the explanation. In the past few decades, decades means a decade contains 10 years. Okay. Archaeology has changed as it now focuses on the details of life and the mysteries of death. Earlier it was about focusing on the treasure. Now it uses more advanced medical technologies and tools for research. In 1968, an anatomy professor x-rayed King Tut's mummy and revealed that the front limbs and breastbones were missing. Further passage from the text is today Diagnostic imaging can be done with computed tomography or CT, by which hundreds of X-rays in cross-section are put together like slices of bread to create a three-dimensional virtual body. What more would a CT scan reveal of truth that the X-ray, and could it answer two of the biggest questions still lingering about him? How did he die? And how old was he at the time of his death? Let us have the further. King Tut's demise was a big event. Even by royal standards, he was the last of his family's line, and his funeral was the death rattle by a dynasty. But the particulars of his passing away and its aftermath are unclear. Computed tomography means also called a CT scan. It is a three-dimensional scan of a body with the help of hundreds of X-rays in cross-section together. Demise death. Death rattle means the gurgling sound produced in the throat of a person who is about to die. Aftermath means after effects of an unpleasant event. Now let us have the explanation of the above passages. Now with the advancement of technology, CT scan or computer tomography has uh, given a virtual image of the whole body. With the help of this technology, King Tut's body would be scanned to find answers to two questions: how he died and how old was he at the time of his death. His death was a shock to the royals also, as he was the last person of his family, and his funeral indicated the diminishment of his dynasty. However, what happened after his death is still not clear. So, dear students, further explanations will be made in the next lectures. Thank you.